As we've talked on this show, there is a lot of young talent on the New England Patriots. And there's one guy that we've talked about a little bit, but we got to talk about a heck of a lot more. And we're going to do that today. My name's Aaron. This is Sports Talk Patriots, your one-stop shop for anything New England Patriots football. We're going to talk about it right here. So, as always, please do me a huge favor. Subscribe. One more time. Subscribe, like, and comment below. Love talking to you guys. So, that being said, we have talked a lot of different young talents on the New England Patriots. Jaheim Bell on the offense. We've talked about Jalen Polk. But this one guy, a lot of people have mentioned, and we've talked about him a little, but not a lot. He's been overshadowed by, obviously, Drake May, Polk, and Bell. And so we're going to talk about him today. That's our boy, Javon Baker, predicted to have a big role in year one. Now, before we really jump into this article, you look at the New England Patriots, and we've talked about their wide receiver. It might be one position group besides the offensive line that we've really talked about the most. It's a wide receiver core that, sure, you have some veterans, you have some experience, but besides that, it's kind of depleted. A lot of people would argue it's one of the worst wide receiver groups, that's the word I'm looking for, in the NFL. And so Javon Baker has a great opportunity to step into a role and get some big-time targets, especially if he proves himself. So when it comes to the preseason, training camp, all of that fun stuff. So a lot of times I feel like he's been overshadowed by Polk because you look at him and he's a dog, ton of potential. We've talked about him, I think, a ton on this channel. And so I want to give some love to Baker. So if you didn't know, Baker, we're going to jump over here. 6'1", so taller, not crazy tall. Went to UCF, 40-yard dash, not crazy fast. Vertical is ridiculous. And I always just like looking on here because you can look at the strengths. So well-built, great NFL size, above average strength. That's huge. I think one of the great things is down here we talked about is vertical, springy vertical, and plus ball tracking. And so that's huge. So being able to, fight for the ball, get to the point of attack, get to the ball, get up high. I love 50-50 balls. Again, if I've talked about Keon Coleman in this channel, he played at Michigan State before he went to Florida State. Don't blame him. Our offense was trash. He had to get out of there. And he's the type of guy you throw the ball up to him. I think Javon Baker maybe won't excel as great as Keon Coleman will in Buffalo in that sense of his game, but I think he has a lot of potential when it comes to, put the ball up there and make him work for it, and he'll bring it down. So he works back to throws great when it comes to scrambling quarterbacks. If you watch any college football, UCF, Gus Malzahn, the head coach, he coached at Auburn before, led them to a national championship actually in his first year. Crazy, a lot of crazy wins. So you look at his offense, and there's multiple games where they're an air raid type of offense where the quarterback, it was McLean, I believe it was. You're like, I don't care who UCF's quarterback is. Well, I'm telling you, he would be scrambling in the pocket, running forever, making it really hard on his offensive line. But a lot of times you can see that Baker comes back to the ball. He does a great job at helping his quarterback. And so that is very helpful that he has that kind of sense and that he knows that, hey, I can improv if needed to. You look at his time at UCF. Now, UCF struggled. We got to remember that they were in the Big 12. This was their first year going from the AAC to the Big 12, so it was tough for them. But what I think is awesome, and a lot of people haven't talked about, is if you look at Javon Baker's numbers when he was at UCF, is he has a lot of long receptions, a lot of big gains, and his averages are up there. So look at this one. 37 in this game against Baylor, 37 yards, 21 yards, 26 yards, 23, 28, 29, 29, 19. That's pretty impressive. That's very impressive. And so that tells me, like, hey, run after catch, solid. Is he going over the top of the secondary? Solid. So a lot of potential in Javon Baker. Was he as sought after once again as Polk? No, but I think a lot of potential, and he's a rookie. Who knows? He could come out and one day. I'm not making any guesses when I say this. I'm not making any definitive statements when I say this. But who knows if he comes out and he's better than Polk and turns into someone who is more of a number one receiver? Who knows? I'm just stating facts. I'm just thinking it over. So. But you look at all those, and then you look at his receptions, not crazy high, but again, very efficient after the catch. So, 5 yards, 134, 3. That game wasn't great. 4 for 93, 4 for 112, 4 for 117. So the man can play football. The man can get yards, and that's what the Patriots need. So I think that Javon Baker, a lot of you, a good amount of you. A lot of you have put Polk. Some of you have put Bell. Obviously, a lot of you have put May. But every once in a while, I'll see someone put Baker. Don't forget about Baker. Don't forget about Baker. So I think he has a ton of potential. I would love to see him get a lot of time in this offense. It'll be interesting to see what Van Pelt does. Everything I've read has talked about he doesn't necessarily go into trips or trio or anything like that as often as other teams in the NFL. He's a run-heavy type of guy. So then again, getting that offensive line set. If you didn't watch my video yesterday, go check that out. We talk about the offensive line and potential switches within the line. Go check that out. I'll have it tagged at the end of this. But if they can get that going, the run game going, that opens up the pass game. Guys, I'm telling you, I know I'm a glass half full type of guy. This could work. And I'm feeling very optimistic. I know some of you are like, you're an idiot, you're an idiot, you're an idiot. I'll take it. I don't really care. So, also, from Javon Baker, what I want to show you. Oh, there we go. Pull it up. There's our boy, Javon. What a dog. 4th round, 10th overall pick in the 4th round. Steal. Also, one other thing before I move on to the next thing. This was a load. I've said this more than once. This was a loaded wide receiver class. Do not forget that. How many wide receivers were taken in the 1st round? A lot. Okay. In most years, you could argue that Polk would be a 1st round pick. Easily make that argument. But this was a very wide receiver heavy class. And so Baker, you easily could say that he could have been a 3rd, maybe even 2nd round pick in other years. Who knows? It was a very offensive heavy year. You look at defense, look the Lions, my NFC team. The Lions took Terrion Arnold. How late? Very late. A lot of people said he was one of the top cornerbacks. If not, a lot of people argued the top cornerback. And how far did he fall just because so many wide receivers, so many offensive players were taken? It was wild. So that's that. But I want to show you this last thing too. Because if anyone's been watching my videos, I made a video. This is probably one of my first videos. I think it's my 4th video I did on Jaheim Bell. ESPN, you're late. You're late to this. It says Patriots rookies report to training camp this week. Why tight end Jaheim Bell is one to watch. Listen, ESPN, we already know this. You're late. You're late to the game. You're late to the game, ESPN. We've had enough. We know you're not huge on the Patriots. So take a seat. But if you want to watch that video as well on Jaheim Bell, go check it out. I believe it's my 4th one. I can try to take that one too, as well as the offensive line one as well. So appreciate you guys watching Sports Talk Patriots. Again, my name is Aaron. Do me a favor, subscribe. You guys rock. We'll talk to you later. Peace.